Heat 14 podcast, and folks, this is the last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the last week we won't have baseball until the end of October. You are hearing that correctly. We have baseball this week. Long weekend. How are we feeling, Avery? How was your weekend?
Good. Didn't get up to too much. Was in the city Saturday night. We went out for a nice dinner, or we went out for dinner to this place where they served like corn dogs and grilled cheese and stuff.
Yeah.
It rocked. It was the best dinner I've had in a while. And it was just like
That's insane.
steak and fries. It cost an arm and a leg, but it was awesome.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely insane. And if you're watching this on the YouTube, whoa, Johnny looks good. Johnny looks good. Yeah, I got a little claw mic. I don't know what this is called, actually. A mic stand. I look real professional now. I feel great. Don't have to carry the mic in my hand. But what a weekend I had. I mean, if the haters said I couldn't do a 3-day bender with Alto, all those boys, and the girls, and we did it. We fired off a 3-day weekend. Haters are sick.
You sound like shit.
No, I don't sound like you're now you're taking crazy balls. I don't sound like shit. I am just like I have like runny. Some may argue, some may make the case I have a runny nose, but I feel perfectly fine. Like Friday, so I record the day of Vogelbach, which we will go into, and our buddies Mike and obviously Mikey, they say jump, I say how high. They say we're going out, Johnny, we need you out. I end the YouTube live, drive all the way down to Toronto. So I do that. Go to Isabel's, and I was just cranking drinks, try to catch up with them. And yeah, pulled trig about 3-4 times in the bathroom, looked in the mirror. I just like you need to sober up now, buddy. And honestly, I will say this, like, I wasn't really that fucked up, but just pulling trig makes you feel incredible. I'm like a pulling trig activist. Does that make sense? I love it.
I'm 1A for throwing up while you drink. Like, that's just, you're gonna, at some point, if you drink too much, you're gonna throw up. I don't want to do it when I go back, and I don't want to do it in the morning. So you just do it while you're drinking.
Get it out of the way. People forget I did that when Musgrove came over to Alto. So we did that, and then I got some great stories from yesterday. Yesterday we go to Paris, Texas, obviously for the après ski event. I want to give a shout out to my boy Tyler Randa, who convinced me to go to Patagonia to get that shirt. I'll say it. I'm not one to pump my tires. I look fucking incredible. This outfit, the sunglasses, and I will tell you some funny stories from this. So we just took over a booth. So we're just sitting in that booth that we had for your birthday party. And I will say this. There was one girl that got away that I have to talk about. Not to pump my tires. I was obviously pretty mangled. And this one girl, like this, I wish I was joking about this because it's gonna haunt my dreams for the end of time. This rocket ship comes up to our booth, points to me, and grabs my hand, and she's like, "Do you have a girlfriend?" I said no, and just immediately snapped my neck away, like ignoring the rest of the conversation with her. And everyone at the table, and I'm Avery, I wish I was joking. This girl was a rocket ship. And everyone at the table's like, Johnny, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, she just walked away and I never saw her again. She's the one that got away.
Because you were just the drunkest person on earth.
Well, I don't know. Like I tried to like
you had to have been, like, for sure.
Well, it was either that or I tried to go beauty mode and just pretend like I didn't care about it. And obviously that might work even more because maybe she's saying like, wow, that guy was kind of a dick. I kind of like him. But yeah, that was when she said that, when she asked me, like, she went out of her way, like she ditched her friend group, walked up to me, was like, are you like, do you have a girlfriend? And I just no, and then snapped my neck away. The one that got away. But
you were wearing sunglasses inside, weren't you?
Yeah.
How'd that go this time? Because last time that was a disaster.
Felt great, looked great. I mean, there's some great pictures that got out of this thing. I will say this though. I know the listener is listening out there, and again, I won't say his name. His sister is the bartender. There, she, I believe. Listen,
wait, this is the one that you said you wanted to go on a date with, right?
No, it's the one that I said I love. No, it's not. Yeah, it's more than dating.
Sorry, that's different.
It's more than just a dating type of thing. I love her. So she came up to me again at the booth, and like I said, I don't know if this is actually her. So if it is, can we get a confirmation DM maybe? I would be ashamed if she DM'd me anyways. But anyways, I'm sitting at the booth, and this girl taps on my shoulder. Like I was buzzing yesterday. Taps on my shoulder and looks at me. She's like, I listened to the podcast. I didn't know you were some sort of like hot shot. I don't know what she called. She called me something. And then I don't know what I said to her. I literally, like I said, I don't remember. I could have said anything to this girl. I think I might have said I love you too. I don't know. I don't know what I said to her, but we were snapping it around. And again, she's the one that got away as well. So I do love that one. Like I would love to marry a Paris, Texas bartender. I'm not saying I wouldn't say no to that. She is the one that got away. Actually, I do remember what I said to her. I said, "Are you drinking?" Because I don't know if she was working. She's like, "Yeah, I just had a tequila shot." So I took that in my mind as, "Oh, she doesn't want me to buy." She doesn't want me to buy her a drink. So I just kind of ended the conversation and turned around. But
Ugh.
I do love her, and I'd love for my brother-in-law to be a Gate 14 listener. That would rock. I just
Yeah.
want to make that very clear. But
Yeah,
what a
he'll
weekend!
know everything about you. That's an all-time weekend.
Oh, it was Stay Hot Johnny yesterday. The boy, it was
We were
just
talking because I sent the group chat a text. Day drinking is so much better than going out and staying up till 4 a.m.
it's not even close how much better it is. Like for example, going to preing before a Jays game on a Saturday, like starting at like 12 or 1 o'clock with the boys, like you go on a patio, start just cranking beers, go to a Jays game, keep it going there. You're just like whatever, chilling at the bar in your seat or whatever, like that on a Saturday. It's the greatest fucking thing on the planet. And I would take that over like going out to a bar or a club on a night 10 times out of 10. It's not even close. It's like not even on the same stratosphere as that.
They're quite literally playing different sports. I agree with
Yeah,
you.
it is. Day drinking's the best. And it just like doing it yesterday, I kept saying to
How
everyone,
long were
like,
you guys outside for?
not even an hour. Like we just immediately went to the booth right
It was
after.
cold as fuck outside yesterday.
Yeah, but I just kept saying this to like Emma, Natalie, Liv, like Alto, Jonah, like Mike. I said this to everyone. I just kept saying, "Man, this feels like summer. This is our warm up for summer." And I was fucking freezing out there. Like they had heaters, but we weren't even just remotely near the heaters. And then I go to the bar and I go to buy a drink. I bought 5 drinks. I look at she hands me the machine, $105. It's like, God damn. But the funniest story, again, we'll go into the Jays talk soon here, but the funniest story was our good friend Curtis Widener, who went to the bar to buy 2 drinks. The guy hands him the drinks. He just walks away to the booth, and all you see is like one of the bartenders from Paris, Texas, following him with the machine. It was like the funniest thing I've ever seen. We like that was, and then luckily our friend Natalie took a picture of it, but it was just the funniest thing I have ever seen, which is Curtis having to pay while he's seated at a booth while the bartender is following him to the booth. It was all time. Day drinking forever. I'll make that very clear. Day drinking forever.
Yeah, it seemed like a fun event, man. All the fits. You guys put that shit on yesterday.
Yeah, shout out Patagucci. I'm a Patagucci guy. I'm a Patagucci
did
guy.
Randa have a better did he have a better outing?
He didn't come.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he didn't come. But anyways, let's go to some J stuff, boys. Let's go to some J stuff. That was a little tidbit, and just so the new listeners know here, that happens a lot. Like on Sunday night podcasts, we like to snap it around a little bit about the weekend. Deal with it. That's what we do. We're not. You want to listen to strictly Blue Jay stuff? Go listen to fucking At the Letters, okay? But anyways, Daniel Vogelbach, Danny Burgers, the GOAT. I couldn't love this signing anymore, Avery. And let me tell you something. I don't get why people are mad about it because one, he seems like the greatest fucking locker room dude ever, and 2, there's no risk. If he's dog shit in spring training, snip his ass. He's done. You don't like, you know what I mean? It's awesome. I can't wait to watch him in spring training. Danny Burger sitting in the fucking 3-hole in spring training.
Yeah, there's no risk, only potential reward when you sign these guys to minor league deals, right? If it doesn't work out, they're just gone. They're not on the team when they make it out of camp. So I hate the spot that we're kind of in right now because
like you and I,
yeah, because I don't think they've made stupid moves at all after they knew they couldn't get Soto and they knew they couldn't get Ohtani. No one in baseball are signing those guys that everyone wants to sign. Okay, Soler went. There's one. But Chapman and Bellinger, the 2 that people still seem to want, no one wants to give those guys the money they're asking for. I don't know.
Scott Boras is a cuck. I think that's what's happening.
I really like the way the major league teams have just gone back on Scott Boras and what he does because he was taking over the way baseball free agency worked and how his clients got paid. And now everyone's like, "Hey, Scott, we're not gonna do a deal with the devil here." There's the Cubs guy who came out and said that Boras just goes to the owner instead of talking to the GM to get some of these things done.
It's like,
So
yeah, it's weird, Avery.
I think I like the way they've kind of taken it back on him. Like, good man, you can try and reinvent the way your players get paid, but at some point, people are gonna have enough of it. And it's kind of where they're at. And the Boris guys are the ones who haven't signed. What are we gonna do? Wait for them to be into April to start playing games to sign these guys? No. You think Matt Chapman without a spring training is going to be a good hitter?
Oh yeah, surely he'll be a good hitter if he has no spring. Yeah,
Yeah,
surely
in the
Matt
first
Chapman will
month he
settle
comes
in.
back. You think Bellinger, who had one good year after 3 shit ones in a row, is going to be good after he doesn't have a spring training? How are these guys not pushing back on Boris, saying,
I
"Hey
think they
man,
are though, Avery.
you think so?"
Yeah, I think they are. I think we're gonna see a deal here that's not player friendly type of deal, like a Scott Boras deal. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing? You know, like a weird Scott Boras deal, though. I think Scott Boras is banking on teams getting desperate. But if you look around the league, like the teams that you think would be desperate, for example, like I don't know, there's some teams that need a third baseman. You'd think they dropped a bag for Matt Chapman, but Scott Boras is being so delusional in terms of Matt Chapman is not worth what Scott Boras thinks he's worth. The guy hit below, what was it, below 200 the last 3 months of the season. Wasn't as good defensively as he was his entire career the last 2 seasons, I believe, right, Avery?
Yeah.
It's like I don't know, man. Matt Chapman without a spring training is going to be comical, and I hope it's not with the Blue Jays, hopefully, because that would be funny to watch him just in April get like his first at bats after playing like 4 games in Double-A and Triple-A just to get his feet under him, and then he's just dog shit. It's funny.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So kind of I got onto a point and went off of it there. The point that we're at, and you get it way worse than I do. You way more followers on Twitter of saying you're a Ross apologist. Can we you can touch on it as well, but where I'm at with it is I want to say this every single week until you just can't get it into some people's heads when you have a
Well,
thought. But it's they haven't played a single fucking baseball game yet
yeah.
this year. Like not one. Not a single game has been played yet. And I saw someone on an Instagram story say the Toronto Blue Jays have no superstars. It's like,
What
what?
are you
I mean,
talking
I was like,
about?
what? The fan base seems to be kind of delusional in that part. Vladdy, superstar. Kevin Gausman's a superstar. That
Kevin
might not
Gausman's
be,
the best pitcher not named Garrett Cole in the
and
American
it
League.
might be for marketing reasons. You don't think that, but Kevin Gausman's a superstar pitcher. Bo Bichette is a superstar player as well. Those guys figure things. Sorry, Bichette, Gausman had things figured out. Vladdy figures things out again. They're talking about Vladdy being the best hitter on the planet, and he only lost to Shohei Ohtani. He could have easily won MVP any other year if Shohei Ohtani doesn't exist.
Easily.
Again, it's ifs, ands, or buts, whatever. But Vladimir Guerrero was one of the best hitters we'd seen of all time at that point. Just the numbers he put up in Toronto were sick that year. Again, Judge goes and does it 10 times better than that the other years, but still, Vladimir Guerrero is a superstar. He bounces back. This team, that is the player they're trying to acquire, is him being really good again. They have that. I don't think this team needs major upgrades to
Yeah.
still be a good baseball team. The D-backs won like 71 games, it felt like, and made it to the World Series. It's like there's so many ways to win baseball games and be good at baseball. Just because you're not signing the free agents that you want to sign doesn't mean this team can't win. We haven't played a game yet. Like
Yeah.
I'm
And I want to
fine.
make
I'm
a
fine for you to dunk on us if we're in July and the team's
yes.
lost all the games. Then it's like, okay, the team was the team was built poorly. That's just not even close to where we're at yet.
This is my thing, Avery. This is my thing. Okay, because I feel like there's a lot. We're growing rapidly. Everyone knows that. We've said that very clear. We have a lot of new followers, right? We have a lot of new people that are they expect us to be these fake people that get mad in the off season. We have never been getting mad in off season, guys, ever in the history of the show, Avery. Have we? No.
No.
If the team is bad in July, will we be chirping and getting mad at Ross Atkins? 1,000,000% But us getting mad about moves, minor league deals, getting mad about like signing Eduardo Escobar, signing Dana Vogelbach, that's not what Gate 14 is. Gate 14 is we have emotion, obviously. We deal with these emotions once they're actually playing the fucking baseball games, dude. Like, that's when we deal with it. I can't fake it. I can't pretend be mad at Ross Atkins or Mark Shapiro for like moves that are nothing burgers and moves where you could just cut a guy and has no effect on the team in a minor league signing. And I know a lot of people are talking about, oh, we fumbled this offseason because of the Ohtani and Soto. You can't force a guy to want to play here. Ohtani, the Jays were willing to give the dude $700 million to play for the Toronto Blue Jays. For the people to say this front office is so unserious, you're just delusional. You're delusional. He didn't want to play here. He wanted to play in LA. Fine. The Soto deal, sure. I guess you could be a little mad about that. The Jays didn't offer enough. Fine. Do the Jays have the same amount of prospects as the Yankees in terms of like how good their prospect system is? No. Could the Jays have matched that? I'm not sure. But to just say, like, you and I are just now, we've gotten too big. We're Rogers shills. We're like standing up in the front office. We have always come at Ross Atkins when he's done stupid shit. If he's done stupid shit, if this team's underperforming, the offense last year, the lack of moves at the trade deadline, Avery, we were mad about that, right? We were mad about the trade deadline. Like, we're not going to fake stuff just to get clicks from people that we don't want listening to this show, the people that are just always negative fucks online. I can't deal with it. And personally, I am not that mad about this offseason because at the end of the day, like you mentioned, if Vladdy puts up 4 wins, the dude put up 1 last year. Let's make that clear. You're banking on, every team is banking on their good guys to be good, no matter what moves they make. If the Dodgers get Ohtani and Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts are bums, it means nothing. It means nothing to the Dodgers. If they get, like, it won't help them at all. You need, like, we saw Ohtani and Freeman in the playoffs last year, Avery, right? They went 0 for combined, 0 for 27 or whatever it was against the Diamondbacks.
Not Ohtani, but you knew who you're talking about.
Or sorry, so Freeman and Betts. Sorry,
but
at the end of the day, you're banking on your guys to be guys to win a World Series.
Can I? Like, and then one thing is, Cody Bellinger put up. People thought Cody Bellinger was no longer good at baseball, and there was a good chance that Cody Bellinger was going to be bad for the rest of his career. And then he puts up the season he just did. Why can't the Toronto Blue Jays players do that as well? I think kind of where we come from too is we didn't play professional baseball. We played college baseball. It quite literally doesn't matter until you play the first game. It's like I think we understand that. And again, if the team is bad through 3 months and you have like tangible things you need to change about the team, and then you don't go do it, I'll be way more mad at Ross over that for not addressing the things in season when you see them happening in real time. Then, hey, this guy had a full off season. He got healthy. Let's see if he can bounce back and give our guys a chance for a team that was a top World Series contender last year. Not much has changed except they played shitty last year. It is a perfect buy low, post hype opportunity. That's the thing in the fantasy baseball world is you love a prospect or you love a player one season, the post hype breakout. They have one bad season when you thought they were going to be good. And then the things that you thought about the team or the player just happen. It's a year later. What is there to say that it can't happen for this team, man?
Yeah,
so
and the thing is,
I'm not ready to get angry. I'm not even close to get ready to get angry at it.
And let's discuss this as well. When has a team won the offseason and won the World Series in the last 5 years? The Mets won the offseason last year. They bring in Verlander. They bring in, obviously, they had Scherzer. Like, they bring in these guys. I know that's a little bit different, but baseball is the most random sport on the planet. The Jays were right, Avery, they were the AL favorite to win the World Series last year, if I remember correctly. They were one of the AL favorites, if not top 3.
Yeah.
They won 89 games. We don't know shit. Writers don't know shit. They just predict things based off of whatever, like based off of roster. This roster is still good. I'm not going to continue this Rogers shill bullshit, whatever. It's just insane to me that we're already docking the season, like saying the season's done in March, essentially.
So if we want to look at the moves, because we don't have to worry about an owner who's giving up on the team as well. Like, you see the Red Sox do that, and I can understand where their fans get angry because it seems like their team doesn't care, or their ownership group doesn't really care about the team anymore. We are in the exact. We offered a guy $700 million to play this year. Sure, maybe there's a budget for having Ohtani and getting other players because they didn't like the players on the market. Like, I understand how it differs as well, but we're not dealing with an ownership group that doesn't want to spend on this team.
Like,
to me, it's crazy.
People are trying to sell on Cody Bellinger, like you said, after one good year, what if he is just a pumpkin the rest of his like the possibility of him being a pumpkin the rest of his career is not that low. Like it's a 50-50 kind of split. I looked at his advanced stats. I made a video on it. He barreled 26 baseballs last year. 73% of them were home runs. Like that's not a sustainable clip, obviously. It's just I don't know, man. He had over 100 hits and 2 strike counts. It's like from a Blue Jays perspective, where it's like they're very, I don't know if they're very analytical, but they are analytical. That's not something you're giving $200 million to. A player like Alex Bregman, right? Next year is a free agent next year. That's a guy I'd be more comfortable giving that to, or something along those lines, right? It's just Bellinger has had 2 good seasons his entire career, I believe, right, Avery? And 3 of those seasons, which the ones in between, he was really bad. He was a bench player. Like, I don't know, man. It's just I can't fake get mad about not signing Cody Bellinger. I can't fake get mad about not signing Jorge Soler. I just want to see how the season
he had some
plays out.
great seasons. Bellinger did, man.
He did.
Obviously, MVP.
Yeah, he did. But it's just I don't know. It's just it's obviously we had to address it because people are. I know people are mad, and you have every right to be mad as a fan. That's why we started this
Okay,
podcast.
let's just think. Would you rather Cody Bellinger 7 years or throw whatever you can at Soto next year?
Exactly. Like you throw the kitchen sink at a hitter that we have never like one of the best hitters ever. 19 years old, this dude was raking in the major leagues. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It just I know, but the thing is, Jays don't get a Soto next year. It's gonna be even worse on Twitter and stuff. But I get that. It's fine. But
one team gets these players out of everyone.
yeah,
I don't.
so there's gonna be 29 mad teams no matter what. But yeah, I know obviously we went on a tangent there, but it had to be said. It's just I know people want to agree with us in the comment section. That's fine. But yeah, it
Just wait until the games are played.
we will be if this team is bad, if Vladdy is bad, if Kirk, if Varsho's bad, we will be on the front lines talking about how bad this team is. We are not going to spin zone positive shit when this team was bad. We were on the front lines when this team had that dog shit stretch, I believe in June, Avery. We were talking about how bad their offense was. Like we're emotional guys. If you want to listen to like I can't go off on tangents about how bad this team is anymore.
Well,
I can't.
I think it's the emotion gets shown in the baseball games. It doesn't get shown when you really haven't done anything yet.
Exactly. But anyways, let's go back to the Vogelbach signing. One, unbelievably funny, and that's just that rocks. Because it was just the most random. I honestly didn't even know he was a free agent. Did you? I had no idea Daniel Vogelbach was a free agent. I didn't see him on any boards. Obviously, no one like talked about him going to teams. Like there was no like so and so is interested in Daniel Vogelbach. It was just bang, signed to the Blue Jays out of fucking nowhere.
I've got. You're right with that too. I got nothing to say about Danny Burgers, but it is interesting to see when they brought him in what he does well, because he's actually good at hitting right-handed pitching. It's not fake. It's not make-believe stats. The stats are legitimately telling you Daniel Vogelbach can hit right-handed pitching really well.
Yeah.
So if you need, it's kind of a safety blanket if Horwitz is no good. If they don't see what they like in him.
And Horwitz doesn't have like he's shown he's not really like a big power guy, right? Like the Jays needed power guys.
We have heard that he is an elite clubhouse guy. There's a reason he stays around for so long. Yusei Kikuchi gave his son the middle name Daniel because he likes Daniel Vogelbach so much. So
it rocks. It's just it's unbelievable. It's
like okay, you have a bench bat. Daniel Vogelbach isn't going to see a ton of playing time this year.
He's not starting over fucking Vlad at first.
Yes. Well, he's not going to play a position. I don't think he's done that in years. But he's been really good against right-handed pitching. He's a 240 career hitter against right-handed pitching with a weighted runs created plus of 125. And he has an OPS of 814 and ISO of 212 against right-handed pitching in his career. He's also decent walk rate guy. Daniel Vogelbach is a serviceable major league player.
Serviceable.
He's not there to get you 600 plate appearances, but for a bench bat, he can serve a purpose.
And let's just talk about this from a content perspective. It's gonna rock watching him play if he does. If he makes
It's
the team,
hilarious.
it's all time. And honestly, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to try to get him on the pod. I know it'll probably be hard. I don't know if he's a podcast guy, but he is. It's like it's what I compare this to, and I saw a lot of people do this on Twitter. The Escobar and Vogelbach signings is like the Greg Bird and Dexter Fowler last year, or I think that was 2 years ago, right?
A couple years ago, yeah.
Yeah, didn't have good springs, cut. And I know Fowler obviously left the Jays, didn't want to play here anymore because he wasn't going to get an opportunity in the big leagues. But it's kind of the same thing. If they're bad in spring training, we're going to do a tribute video of them getting hits in spring training. Well, thank you for your service, but whatever, right? I know it's a lot of people are talking about clogging up at bats for the young guys. I don't think that essentially. I don't think they're if they get outplayed by the young guys will make the team. And you don't like, and they're on the 40-man anyways, the young guys, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think you know, and I think you know well why they were brought in. Eduardo Escobar plays third base. I was reading a Fangraphs article about guys who played through injuries, and that was Eduardo Escobar last year. So his numbers dipped a substantial amount, but he played through an injury. So a guy who crushes left-handed pitching as a switch hitter who can play third base as well. Again, these are just filling up holes for a team. And then they're not sexy pieces. And I think that's why some people will be frustrated. But if they work, man. Like, give it time. Let's see how it goes. And there is a chance that neither one of these guys make the team on opening day. So how you can be angry or how things can happen.
It's hard. It's hard to do that. But
yeah, stupid.
And then another thing about that I'm kind of looking forward to, obviously, just in spring, is to just see how these guys perform, man. Like Escobar in 2022, like how quickly we've forgotten he was good in 2022, right? Like I'm talking like 22 home runs, was a big part of that Mets team. If he's fully healthy, I just give the guy a shot. Why not? Let's see what he does. And that's what Ross Atkins did. And obviously, all the guys like Eduardo Escobar. Bassett talked about how much he loved him and how good of a locker room guy he was to us. So, yeah. So it's like a whatever move, to be honest. So and if they play good, Ross Atkins looks like a fucking genius. And if they play like shit, you snip them. That's it.
It's such a simple concept. It really is.
Yeah.
If they're good, they make the team. If they're bad, we don't have to worry about them at all.
Vogelbach home runs also rock because the bat doesn't really go around his entire body when he swings.
No, it doesn't.
It's gonna be unbelievable. It's gonna be unbelievable. Just seeing him in those dog shit ass Fanatics jerseys, is gonna be just funny as shit. If
He's gonna sweat through the new blue so quickly.
Oh yeah. And when three guys get skinny like Kirk, Manoah, and Vlad, you gotta add a little chonkiness to this team. Every team needs a chonky guy. Nothing wrong with that.
Other than that, camp stuff, anything kind of catch your eye?
The Yariel Rodriguez stuff is interesting to me. And another thing is, it's just like I like the way he throws. I like his throwing motion, kind of electric. And I do like that quote of him coming out saying like, I want to be a starter. But obviously he said, I'll do whatever this team needs to win. He wants to be a starter. But him essentially saying, like, he pretty much essentially said, like, I fucking hate hitters. Like, he's like, I like to fuck with them. I like to get in their mind and kind of play around with them, essentially. It's awesome. I love that mentality from that guy. And another guy that's catching a lot of positive strays in spring training is our guy, Bowden Francis, man. Everyone is talking about him. I think Bassett said he wouldn't be surprised if Bowden Francis turned into like a 1 at some point.
That's an interesting quote. I like that, though.
Yeah.
Y-Rod, his teeth, they're fake.
Very, very fake.
They're very fake. He looks. I like getting on British TikTok and seeing people
the British folks love veneers.
Yes,
love them.
He kind of reminds me of a guy from Britain who's going out with the designer stuff on too. But that quote is so sick that he hates hitters that much, and he's an intense guy, and he's not going to apologize for being an intense guy. That rocks.
This pitching staff's special, man. Last year we got to see it full hand. Like, they're the reason this team won 89 games. This pitching staff's fucking special. But where were you at on this, Avery, with the two signings? So I said on the YouTube live I did that the signings of like Escobar and Vogelbach could mean potentially maybe a trade coming up here. Like, what do you think?
Uh, it would be Espinal, I think, would be the first one to go because I don't think they're trading Horwitz. Really, I think it is going to be Espinal who would be the one who's on the way out if they like some other ones, and like Ernie could take that over, or no one takes that spot. So I think it would mean an Espinal thing, but you're not. What huge impact player are you going to get back for Espinal?
None, obviously. None.
Yeah, none. That's going to make that I doubt would make an impact on the team this year.
How good did Ricky T look in that pen? I love watching those pen videos, man. I do. Like that live at bat he had against Jano. Obviously, I think he walked him after going up 0-2, which isn't really uh essential, but unbelievable. I love hard throwing lefties. It's like a kink of mine. It gets me going a little bit. But seeing Ricky just sling that motherfucker from the left side, scenes.
Yeah, what they say, he put on 20 pounds of muscle this offseason too. And he
That's the
wears
best
the
shape of his
tight,
life.
tight pants like a certain other left-hander who was pretty darn good when he was here for a season.
Oh
So
yeah,
him being up to 96 already, good
is
for him.
crazy.
Yeah, good for him. Well,
Is
it is the
crazy.
difference between guys trying to impress in camp and guys who are ready for the long haul. It's the
Like
Chris Bassett thing. Yeah.
yeah, like Bassett knows he's on the team. I'm sure Bassett's like, well, we'll start ramping up a little bit soon here. We watched his pen. He was just kind of just seemed like he was kind of just getting into the swing of it. But I will say this, little Gate 14 exclusive. Bassett said Manoah looks fucking incredible. Like he said, the way the ball's coming out of his hand. He texted that to us. He just said Manoah looks incredible. I texted Jano about it. Jano said he looks incredible because obviously Jano's the one catching the pens, right, and catching or seeing them
Yeah.
firsthand.
CB's his catch partner, he said too.
Yeah, he said it just feels different. It looks different coming out of Manoah's hand. That's obviously a positive sign. I texted Swanee. Swanee said he looks incredible. And speaking about the Vogelbach stuff, Swanee went out of his way and texted me Vogie exclamation marks, who played with him in Seattle, obviously, so he knows. It's just all vibes club, all
Yeah.
vibes team. I love it. And Ricky T looks awesome. Bowden looks awesome. I cannot wait. Obviously, this Saturday we'll have the first spring training game. I can't wait to just see the boys go. Just play baseball games, man.
Bo
It's
lost
gonna
some
be
weight too, eh?
who?
Bo, he looks skinny.
Yeah, Bo does look skinny too. Bo is obviously he'll always be. I'll be always excited watching that guy's at bats. He is so fucking good. Career 299 hitter, which kind of breaks my heart, but one away from 300. We're here. We got fucking ball. We got ball coming up this week, man. We're finally here. No more off-season pods. We got actual baseball. We could talk about players that impressed us, all of that. So I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, not a hot take, but ball is here. We are here.
Yeah, finally, man. It's the dog days of the off season done for. Actual tangible data in front of us to look at and to break down. So I'm very excited for that. Thanks to everyone who stuck with it through the off season too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grind, absolute grind.
Real one.
The downloads were awesome. Got to number one on the charts a pretty decent amount of time, almost every week, and it was just incredible stuff. So let's go into the questions now from the people.
Okay,
There was like 95 of them, which is insane, but
we'll try and
try to get to every
possible.
single one of you guys.
We'll try and do as many as possible to get
Yeah,
back.
we'll try to do as many as possible.
I'll do the Discord ones first if you want to hit on some of the Twitter ones.
And the Discord, by the way, is in our link tree. Not our link tree, sorry. Our the link that we have in our bio. And
and if you can't get in the Discord, just tweet at me or DM me. I'll get it to you. Sometimes it doesn't work. So I'll go through the Discord ones here first. Usually during the season, I will put in asking for your questions in the Discord every single time. So if you want to get them answered, that is the best way to do that every week. Who on the roster is going to have the biggest breakout? I'll go first.
Yeah, you can go first.
Dalton Varsho.
Yeah, you presented those facts in that video you made. I could see that. I'm gonna go pitcher. I'm gonna go pitcher. I'm drinking the Bowden Francis Kool-Aid. I really am. I mean, it's hard to say a guy's gonna have a breakout after having a 1.6 ERA in his first year in the big leagues, but I'm excited.
It wasn't over that many innings, so we could get like a full major league workload to 3.1 ERA, and I think that would be a breakout for him as
I'm
well.
also like just seeing his role. I mean, what are they going to do with him? Like long relief, like the Trevor Richards role. Uh, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with him, and if he shoves, like fuck, man, it's hard. It's gonna be hard to leave that guy out of the rotation. Maybe
Yeah.
even go a 6-man potentially at a certain point, kind of take the wear and tear off some guys' arms. I don't know, but yeah, I'm excited to see Bound Friends. I think he's gonna break out in a big way this year, and he looks great so far this spring. And obviously, he's gonna get a couple starts in the spring training, I believe. So that's his time to shine, and hopefully, he's not giving up home runs to Austin Wells like Marcus Stroman did today.
Yeah.
Fucking bum.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. How do we see the AL East finishing in records, or what's your playoff teams? Let's just do how we have the AL East finishing.
It's hard to leave the Orioles out of that one spot, especially after a 100-win season. But I'm not a stats guy. I did look up the luck factor to kind of cope, and the Orioles were like first in the luck factor by 7 points, which is absurd. But yeah, I can. Orioles, Jays, Yankees all make the playoffs, I think. I don't know how that Rays team is going to be good, Avery, but they somehow might figure out a way to do it, obviously.
Yeah, that's the thing with that's the thing with the Rays. You have no idea. They've always been deep, always a good farm system to replace the guys who are pedophiles on their team. But I think I might have the Rays out as well, because I think I'll go through mine. I hate that it's going to happen. I think the Yankees win the division. I think the Jays come second, O's third, Rays, Red Sox.
It's just the Rays have to replace Manuel Margot, I believe it is, right, Avery?
Yeah, he's gone.
And Tyler Glasnow and Wander Franco. Those are three massive guys. I mean, I know Glasnow didn't throw many innings, obviously, through his entire tenure there. This is still one of the best arms in baseball when he's fully healthy. You have to kind of make up for. So I know they're going to somehow figure out a way to be good, maybe. I don't know. But I got to agree with those standings with you. I'd probably flip-flop the Yankees and Orioles. But
Yeah. I don't think the Yankees team is good besides those two, but we saw how Judge can carry a team.
He did it last year before he got hurt.
Yeah, I think.
And the year before he did it.
I think he's just found a way to be that insane of a hitter.
Yeah.
And Juan Soto's going to be good as well. The best away ground. This guy sounds like he's from Ireland, or not.
That's
Ireland.
a British way. That's a British,
exactly.
way to
So
call it.
best away park we visited. He said he's heading to Philly to watch the Jays in May.
Oh, Philly's incredible, man. Enjoy that. The fans are fucking lunatics. I was there at a game and I've been there a pretty decent amount, obviously, to go see Bryson and Schwarber. The fans are crazy. I was there when Turner, or not when Turner was struggling. I was there when Alec Baum made that error. It was like the first weekend of the year, obviously spring opening weekend.
When he said he hated it there.
Yeah, and he just said he hates this place. You like right when that clip dropped, the entire stadium was just like in shambles. It was incredible. I was sitting beside his family too, which is crazy. But Citizens Bank, the overlooking the Philly skyline. You have the 3-4 stadiums there. You have that massive, unbelievable bar across the street, NBC Sports Bar, no free ads. It's incredible. Enjoy Philly. I'm gonna probably say Philly or Busch Stadium was unbelievable as well.
Yeah, I like Busch a lot last year, and then PNC is obviously one that we both say we like a lot. Starting off the year, the Jays faced the Rays, the Astros, the Yankees, and Mariners. How many games below 500 is the team going to be after that stretch?
I think if they come out of that 500, I'll be happy because they kind of have a soft spot in their schedule after that.
I was going to agree with that too. If that is a win to come out 500.
Anything above 500 there is awesome, right? Like it's a hard stretch, the gauntlet for Christ's sakes. Anything above that for me is like let's go, let's ride. I'm confident here.
Yeah, and the O's have a cupcake schedule. I'm pretty sure to start.
Yeah, really bad schedule, embarrassing schedule.
It'll be like the Rays last year. They just got out to a hot start, as well. Okay, who on the commentary team would be the best guy to go drinking with? Joe, Buck, or Dan Shulman?
I think Joe. Well, no, I'll say this because us being sports guys, Dan Shulman would be awesome.
Like, I think you'd be great. I'm not the biggest Buck guy based on how he does on the broadcast right now in his current role. I think he'd be the best guy to have the beer with.
Buck Martinez too. I mean, that guy,
because I think he has stories that he doesn't tell on the broadcast all the time. That would be incredible. So for me, I'll go with Buck for me.
Yeah, I could. Buck would be cool. He seems like honestly like like I said, I'm indifferent on the way that he commentates games, obviously. But I do think going for beers with Buck and hearing stories about like just the old Blue Jays teams and just being in the game for so long would be awesome.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of good stuff that we don't get out in the broadcast every
Yeah,
time.
for sure.
What does the future of the pod look like?
We got a big announcement coming up, obviously, in like a month or so. Which will mean obviously we'll have the money to be able to do more content, more road trips. Uh, Obviously just like go to the like do stuff for people as well. I have an idea in mind that I'll bring up to you after the podcast about that. But obviously kind of the same thing as last year, man. 3-4 live streams a week of the games with the people. Potentially I want to do a Coochie Corner again, which that was awesome. Maybe it's Gate 14 night at the park. But the thing is now it's like they do sell a decent amount of tickets. It's hard to coordinate that, but we can coordinate a Gate 14 night long in advance. We don't have to worry about like when Kikuchi's starting and have to set this 7 days before the actual event. So I plan to do a Gate 14 night. We will be doing a couple bar nights. We have some events coming up with some paid events coming up that will be awesome as well. I think we're doing 3. I think we have with the sponsor next year. So yeah, there's tons of Gate 14 stuff. This Gate 14 stock's going to be up. We're going to be doing the same stuff we did last year, if not better content. Obviously, me and Avery now are going to be able to do in-person podcasts, which is going to be awesome. We have the equipment now for that. So after a Jays game on a Sunday, just fire Alto's apartment or whatever and just hammer out a pod on the couch. You know, like just the in-person podcast will be different because we've done that once and it was awesome. It's easier, no talking over, not doing it over Zoom. I'm looking forward to that as well. So there's gonna be tons of Gate 14 stuff coming out here in the 2024 season.
I think the only thing not being our full-time jobs would be a post-game show every time. That's if it went to be that, I think that would be the next thing up. That would be awesome for the people. So maybe we can try and find a way to do that anyways, space type thing where that happens, a call-in show. But other than that, it's gonna look a lot like last year too. What
Yeah,
does Justin Turner have to do to produce to shut people up?
120 weighted runs created plus
Holy shit.
115 to shut people up.
Yeah, for sure that would shut people up.
Like, what are you saying? Like 110?
Yeah. Yeah, I think 110 would be great from him. Again, I don't know who needs to shut up. I think everyone's been kind of okay without the signing, right?
Yeah, I think. I mean, obviously, there's some people aren't happy about it, but yeah, I
Sure.
think 110, 120 is obviously crazy. That'd be above and beyond, which I think he could still do, man. I still think he's a really good hitter. So, something along those lines for me would probably be like, all right, people can shut the fuck up now about this guy. But we'll see. I don't think he's gonna be playing third that much. Maybe he will, but yeah, there's tons of potential there with Justin Turner, and it being a 1 year deal. He obviously wants to play after this year, so he's not gonna be like a bum. I'm assuming. So yeah, let's get something out of there. 110 to 120 range of weighted runs created plus.
It's Kevin Biggio, just David Schneider without a mustache. We won't answer that one. Is the Keegan Matheson season preview coming back this year? One of my favorite episodes of last year, hands down.
For sure. Yeah, Keegan's our guy. I plan to do that one in person.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like that's what I have in the plans, obviously. And Keegan will just snap over whenever, obviously, his day. He's not a player. He doesn't have to worry
Yeah, if
about.
he doesn't have to write.
I'd love to have a couple beers at the Gate 14 house and or high noons with Keegs and do a season preview pod. Maybe we could even do it live over on the Gate 14 YouTube. I don't know how to figure that out, but I'm sure we could do something along those lines.
We don't have a computer with those capabilities, probably. But I would love to have him on too. He
Yeah.
was good. It is nice to have someone kind of there. But that was also when we weren't there at all. He's on the inside, knows a bunch of the good stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll have him on. If the Jays do try and trade for someone, who or what type of player could you see them going after? Mine
That's
would
a tough.
be a third baseman.
Yeah, third baseman makes the most sense. Obviously, you're rolling out IKF, Turner, and Escobar there today, taking ground balls at third. The big three. If I told you that last year, you would have people would have called me an idiot. I'd be like, yeah, next year we're gonna have Turner, IKF, and Eduardo Escobar battling for a spot at third base. You'd call me a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a third baseman probably makes the most sense for a trade, depending on how the spring training goes.
All right. We'll go into some of the tweets here from our friend Zoobs. Rank the non-locked in starters for 2024. Manoah, Wyrod, Bowden, Mitch, BDR.
Manoah won. I mean, the guys that came, like the guy was a Cy Young finalist. It's hard. You can't.
I'm there with
Manoah,
you.
Ricky T, Bowden, Yariel, Mitch.
Yeah. Manoah, Big Dick Rick, Yariel. No, Bowden, Yariel, Mitch. I think that's where I'm going to land on. I
Yeah.
don't know what Zoob's wanting to rank them for, but I think
Just like, yeah, I guess just like the best to the worst out of all those guys.
there you go. Are we in the best shape of our lives as podcasters right now?
That's a good question from CB. I would say yes. I did that tweet out. I feel incredible. I'm in podcasting shape, live streaming shape, where we're gonna have to fire home from work quick and do a live stream and then go
That
to the
is
gym
tough
after
when
that.
we drive the hour home. It's like, okay, make sure you eat, and then here's 3 hours of baseball, and then record the pod after. That's the grind.
We're in the best podcasting shape of our life.
But we love it.
Yeah.
Down the road, when the Jays build a new stadium, should it be in the same spot or somewhere else? If so, where?
I don't think the city of Toronto would let them build it in the same spot. I mean, that's just prime condo area, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's literally the heart of downtown.
It'd be sick to be on the water somewhere.
I've said this time and time again, a stadium near the water would be absolutely insane. Like
the Rogers is in a great spot because of how easily accessible it is to get there though by transit.
Yeah, but like thinking where Budweiser stage is, right? I mean, that's right on the water, unbelievable view in the summer. Obviously the Jays would have to have a dome, which makes sense, but a dome where at some point you could at least overlook the water, that'd be incredible, dude. Unbelievable, but that's like a 10 to 15 years down the road type thing, and they're not going anywhere soon with all these renovations. Hashtag cup holders. Hashtag
how'd you feel about that?
So dumb. It
Did you think it was kind of dumb? If there was like an alternate account that could have tweeted out there was cup holders, because people who go to the Rogers Center were happy about that, and not the official account tweeted out like it was a big deal to get clowned on by everyone. It felt like it would have been nice.
But they're in the social media game. The social media guys, I know a couple of them follow us. That's going to get clicks. That's going to get impressions on the tweet, and that's what your job is. So
true.
I'm not mad about it. We're in the clicks business. I just, like I said, I'm not going to get mad over the Toronto Blue Jays putting cup holders in the 100 level. It's whatever. It's a low hanging fruit chirp, obviously, but yeah, I don't know. People are just so mad about that for God knows what reason.
Do we ever regret going to the Midwest to pursue our baseball dreams?
No, this podcast wouldn't have happened if that didn't take place. I've said that time and time again. So
no, if I don't fail out of school in Kansas, I don't meet Jeremy Roach and work where I work.
Exactly.
Intern start this. Who is the Jays' second best starter going to be this year?
Hard to say. There's so many good ones. It's hard to not say Bassett. Fuck, 200 innings pitched, sub 4 ERA or sub 3.5 ERA. I want to say. I don't know if I'm making stats up. It's between him and Barrios, right? Barrios, Bassett said again to us over text that he looks incredible as well. He won a Cy Young this year, I believe. Bassett said to us. Barrios or Bassett. Those are the two guys, but I'm going to probably side Bassett based off the longevity and how many innings he gives you. And how good he is, how much of a competitor he is.
I really want to say Manoah, but I have no backing to that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be a spineless coward and say Barrios. Where does Justin Turner's swing rank among Blue Jays' current hitters?
Pretty beautiful, man. One thing that pisses me off as a former hitting coach in myself, the fact that he doesn't load his hands.
I think the setup's kind of ugly, but the finish is great.
The finish is awesome, but I know you know what I'm talking about. How he doesn't. If you looked at the videos today from him on spring training, he doesn't load his hands. Like they just stay in one spot. He doesn't like load. That's gonna piss me off at a certain point this year, probably. But his finish is unbelievable. He's great at finishing, on and off the field. A couple kids.
He's a big poster as well. I didn't know that about him.
He's a big poster.
He loves to post.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did the who will improve the most in 2024 with our breakouts. Who do you think will regress the most in 2024?
Uh, I'm gonna pick a position. I'm gonna say the DH spot
Okay.
because Brandon Belt gave you the second best OPS in the team last year, right? Was awesome out of the as a DH. Pretty good
Yeah.
defensively as well. I think the DH spot is gonna regress a decent amount, depending. I actually never mind. Jenna will be there potentially a lot. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't really pick a guy.
I think age gets Kevin Kiermaier this year.
Okay, yeah, that's a good pick. And why Jason is saying the joke
Plays
that
great,
Kevin.
plays great defense. Maybe the bat doesn't do it this year. There's no reason for that. That's just a guess.
Yeah,
Love the guy. Happy he's back. But
yeah.
if I had to pick one, maybe a hitter and then pitcher. Oh, I don't even know. I don't want to do the pitchers. I want them to be good.
Yeah.
What are our predictions for the most electric player on the team in 2024? It's an easy 1-1. If he breaks camp, Daniel Vogelbach will be the most electric.
Oh yeah, that's not even a question.
No.
The amount of promotions they could do, the amount of just unlimited content you can hammer out from Daniel Vogelbach is going to be scenes. So yeah, it's Danny Burgers if he breaks camp. If he doesn't break camp, it's hard to say. It's hard to not say, like you mentioned, Dalton Varsho, really good defense guy that can that obviously can hit a decent amount of home runs like he did 2 years ago. He's electric when he's good, and we've got to see glimpses of it a little bit last year. But when he is buzzing, kind of a noodle arm though. I will say that catchers throw from the outfield, which is kind of weird. But yeah, Dalton Varsho for me is one of those guys that's going to be electric next year.
Which player from the 2023 roster will we miss the most in 2024, and which one will we miss the least?
I think the least is the obvious answer. Matt Chapman watching his at bats. That fucking sucked for honestly every month besides April. He was pretty bad.
I won't really miss Witt that much.
Me neither. Yeah. Congrats on the deal, Witt, and turning down the team option, even though it was mutual, and taking $10 million less. But yeah,
just the way he plays, I think is great contact, but it's kind of a replaceable trait.
Yeah.
Matt Chapman smashing doubles in the gap for the first month isn't something you find that easily, and him being the best hitter. And the one I will miss the most is Brandon Belt, big old dick, probably.
Yep, the cock. I will miss the cock. Bon voyage. Would love to have him back as a coach, but yeah, I'm gonna miss the cock. I'll miss it.
How important is this season for the Jays' grand scheme? Vladdy, Bo, Biggio all nearing free agency and big names entering their last few guaranteed years in Toronto. What are our takes on the importance of this season in terms of future success or complete failure?
I think this is the most important one.
It's a very important year.
We're talking back-to-back years. You make the quote-unquote playoffs and you don't win a game. Didn't lead in a game last year in the playoffs. Was trailing the entire time. This is probably the biggest season.
So let's do disaster scenario here. We suck this year. The team sucks this year. And Bo Bichette gets dealt with 1 year left on his contract because he doesn't want to. He tells the front office they don't want to re-sign him, or he doesn't want to re-sign with the Blue Jays after.
I don't even want to think about that. That's literally like the worst case scenario. That would suck.
Yeah, it really would. I think it's a very important year.
Yes, this is massive.
And maybe you try and lock one of the two of them up to a long-term deal. I think Biggio's going to end up walking once he's a free agent.
Yeah.
And he'll be a good player wherever he goes because we'll say, oh, he just couldn't really figure it out in Toronto, and then he'll be a great hitter wherever else he goes. But I think it's a crazy important season as to what they do in the future. If the team sucks out loud and you can get a huge return for Bo, that
for a year and a half of service for him with another team, yeah.
Well, it would be a year. It might not be the best time to deal him, but for the return there, I think that would suck, man. Don't want to think about that, but I think that's the doomsday scenario. Who hits the first home run for the Jays this season?
It's going to be a funny one.
And how many pitches into the Stroman start at Yankee Stadium before they start booing him?
That game is circled on my calendar. That game could not be more circled on my calendar.
He gets 74 pitches in through 4 1/3, and they boo him.
If the Jays beat the fucking brakes off of Marcus Stroman at opening day at Yankee Stadium, that will be my World Series for the time being, for my lifetime. But yeah, I think the first home run is gonna be a funny one. It's gonna be like
Okay.
Calvin Biggio.
Yeah. I'll say Kirk gets the first home run too. Someone crazy. What three current Jays players would be your dream golf group?
Obviously, Bassett, one of our good friends. Uh, Bassett, Swanee's electric too. He seems like a great guy on the golf course. I'm just saying guys that we know, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, Ernie is I golfed with him, so I've had the privilege of like seeing it. He is so fun to golf with. He's electric. Just nonstop shit talk. Not really shit talking, but like he'll get after you a little bit. Enjoys the game a lot and knows he's nasty, so he rocks too. I'd probably say if you put the guys that we know away, three guys we haven't met on the team, I think Kirk would be fun
Yeah.
because he probably wouldn't be that good. Yeah, I don't know. Like I can't really pick three. We know a decent amount on that team. Kirk, maybe Timmy Meza,
There you go.
little weird lefty. And I think Romano and I'd be good on the golf course. He's a crazy person. So yeah.
Are we gonna do Puma's porch this year? He wants to rally behind Manoah like we did Kikuchi last year. I feel like it's different because Manoah was very good at one point.
Yes.
And it wasn't Kikuchi was so bad his first stint, and it did feel like we willed him back a little bit. Obviously, we didn't throw the pitches for him, but there was a lot of support for Kikuchi last year. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of support for him again this year, but Manoah is a Cy Young votes guy.
Yeah, you can't really rally behind a guy like that.
It feels a little different.
Yeah.
If you could put any past Blue Jay on the current 2024 team, which would it be? Josh Donaldson.
Yeah, because Jay's need a third baseman. JD.
What do you believe is the true impact a guy like JT can have on our team?
Well, one is the off the field stuff with the hitters. I don't know if you saw today in the BP. Vladdy was watching Turner really closely when he was hitting, and in return Turner was watching Vladdy. I'm sure if Turner sees something Vladdy does that he hates, he'll bring it up. Obviously, I think he'll play a massive factor on the young guys this team has, and he's gonna have that opportunity to a team that was very immature. We saw last year with Vladdy in the playoffs, just not going to the mound for a pitcher's meeting, which was again one of the weirdest visuals I've ever seen. A guy that kind of has a decent amount of brain farts on the base pass. I think Turner will play a massive impact off the field as well as on the field. And this is a veteran presence that's won World Series before, Mickey Mouse World Series though, but knows what it takes to win. And it's good. I'm excited to see the impact he has on some of these young hitters for sure. And they've obviously already talked about how much of a good locker room guy he is. So I'm looking forward to his off the field stuff.
Yeah, I'd definitely agree with that. Who would be one guy on the team that if he goes down with a season-ending injury would kill any hopes of being a playoff team?
Bo Bichette,
It's probably where I'd go. The pitcher injuries would suck. I think
but they wouldn't be crazy. They wouldn't be like this team's dead.
no,
You know?
I'd agree with that
Because who
too.
would replace Bo? I mean, obviously Ernie if he makes camp. If he doesn't, I don't know where Ernie's going to be, which sucks because he's our guy. But yeah, I think Bo Bichette, that's like 1-1 for me. I don't know who would play shortstop over him. Who like Cavan, I guess.
I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't think Kevin would be playing shortstop. But that's who I would have said as well. My first thought was Bo. What reliever will have the most games played this year?
Hard to not go Swanee again.
I was just about to say
It's really, I mean, Swanee worked his dick to the nub all year last year. It's hard to not go with Swanee. Like this guy is old reliable. He's like he is that guy you just if you need an inning, a zero, this is the motherfucker coming in for you. He's a bad man.
Which player do we want to interview most in 2024?
Bo's probably up there. Calvin Biggio's up there as well. Obviously Danny Burgers would be electric. But
We've
yeah,
been lucky to get a lot of good guys, man.
yeah, like
We really
we've
have.
got the white whale, Kevin Gossman, man. He's the best player on the team, and we got him. He's our guy. So it's hard to argue. Hard to get greedy now, but yeah, Bo Bichette for sure.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would we rank the offseason?
5.
I was gonna say 5 as well.
Yeah.
It happened. It wasn't a disaster. Some people think it was, but um, yeah, it was 5. It was a normal off season.
For sure. Let's do 2 more questions. I feel like people are gonna hate this. Let us
No,
know.
no, they like when they do this. We said we are gonna answer as many as possible.
Okay, that's
Little,
fine. I like I said, from a listening perspective, just let us know if you're grinding away here. Just let us know if you like this shit.
I think we should do. It's Family Day. We love the Gate 14 family, so we'll give back and we'll answer their questions.
Let's go.
Favorite food at the Sky Dome? We don't really eat there
I
ever.
don't eat there. I never eat there.
So I'll go Looney Dogs.
Maybe a Pizza Nova pizza. I do enjoy those.
How much leeway does the team give Kirk this year?
Hard to not give him a lot. Really good with the glove last year. Led American League catchers in DRS as we learned in the Gate 14 awards. It's hard to he has tons of it. Tons of it.
Yeah, I think
pitchers love throwing to him because he steals so many strikes.
Yeah, I think he has a ton of leeway.
Yeah.
It'll be I think he has a ton. Again, should Bo be the leadoff hitter this season?
No. Fuck no.
You want Springer there instead still? Or do you want Justin Turner being the leadoff guy?
No, there's some options, man. I mean, 2B1, that second half, 400 on base percentage last year. Calvin Biggio in the leadoff spot. I know people are going to hate that, but the guy gets on base, and you need the guys that get on base for those top dogs. So I still think you give it to Springer, man. I still think you give it to Springer. I really do.
Yeah, I think he has a shorter leash in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, very short leash.
If we want to do some leash talk.
Yeah.
We got a lot of excess infielders, all the guys we know. Some itching to come up in Elvis and Addison Barger. If we were to trade for something to fill a hole, who would we be willing to give up?
Pack your shit, Addison. I'm not really that in on Addison Barger, man. I don't know.
He had the steam last year and then didn't do much with it during the season.
It's hard to judge also, Avery. It's hard to judge based off how ridiculous everyone's numbers were in Buffalo. Yeah. It's hard to judge how good a guy is, you know?
Yeah, there was a lot of shenanigans going on in Buffalo. That ball was flying out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our favorite guest on the show so far.
I think in terms of how much he gave us, Bassett, man. He is so well spoken, loves the boys, loves to talk to us. You could tell he wants to be there when we're interviewing him and talking to him. I'm gonna probably say Bassett personally.
Yeah, he was one of the ones where you could say 5 words and he would give you a 5-minute answer. Rip it off.
Very complex as well.
Yeah.
It's Bassett. Obviously, Gossman was awesome as well, but Bassett was in terms of just how much he gave us and literally him not really giving a fuck.
Honestly, I like anyone who's willing to give us their time, man. I'm happy
exactly. I love them all, obviously, but Bassett was obvious. Swanee was good too, by the way. Swanee was really good as well. Yeah. But yeah, I'd probably say Bassett.
We know how good Swanee is at busting balls too, and that wasn't his peak busting balls.
We can get more out of Swanee for sure.
Yeah, we could get more out of him. What are 3 things we want to do content-wise? We kind of touched on that a little bit, but
Gate 14 night would be sick. I'm in talks with Swanee about potentially not to give it away, but a Gate 14 giveaway where if you buy an Eric Swanson a Gate 14 Eric Swanson shirt, you can get BP passes on the field with you and a friend or something like that to come with the Gate 14 boys in the field. But yeah, there's tons of stuff we have in motion, something like that, where it's a giveaway where if someone gets to experience something they might never experience in their life. But yeah,
I think the best Gate 14 content things are things that we come up with nothing we do, or a lot of the stuff we do is not planned until one of us comes up with it, and then it just gets put in motion.
I hate to say this, but we have to do a full uni game again.
No, we have to do full uniform.
Have to do it.
Full uniform game on the road has to happen. It's not as funny at home anymore, I don't think. But I think if we do full uniform game on the road, it would be
funny. Seeing maybe even Alto and Curtis in full uniform, that'd be hilarious too.
And whoever's behind the camera also in full. I think that would be very funny.
People would hate us, but yes, that would be funny.
The probability that the Jays will sign a Boras client before the season starts.
0%, maybe 10%.
I'd go about 10% as well. Best section area at the Rogers Center to watch a game.
I will die on this hill. Alto has the season tickets there. The 200 level right below the Bacardi Lounge, where you overlook the you overlook the Sky Dome. I think the 200 level is the best seats in the house. You're not too low, right? You're not too low, and you're not too high. You're just right in the middle there, overlooking the field. I fucking love the 200 level. I will die on that hill. The 200 level seats are the best seats at the Rogers Center, easily.
Oh, yeah, just get me behind the plate. I don't care. And if it's a day game, get me on the third base side. I do not want to be sitting in the sun.
Oh my God, I'm
when
not
it
looking forward to that shit, bro.
when
I'm
it
not.
when it bakes. How many home runs do we think IKF hits this year?
10?
Oh, that'd be good. I like that. How many did he hit
Is that
last year?
crazy?
Anything can happen, man. Let's see how many he hit last year. I was gonna say his jersey number. He was gonna hit 7.
Okay. That's fine. I'd be fine with that too. I think 7 to 10 would be a reasonable
So
number.
he went 8 in 2021, 4 in 2022, and 6. He was on a good pace to hit a bunch last year.
Yeah.
But he didn't didn't play that often. If we had to have the same baseball career as one current Blue Jay, who would it be?
I would say I think the top prospect one's the easy answer. Like a Vladdy where you just come up raking like your entire career, like Bo Bichette did as well.
Yeah.
I'd probably say a guy that I'm fascinated by the Alejandro Kirk career.
Okay.
Obviously, like the scouts went to go watch someone that wasn't him, saw that he raked, signed him for I think 20 grand, came up through the system, kind of started becoming a big prospect for the Jays. Pretty hyped debut, if I believe correctly. Obviously, his size plays a factor in that, but I'd probably say Alejandro Kirk. I love that career path. I love it coming from nothing to becoming a Silver Slugger All-Star.
Yeah, I'll go Ernie or Bowden. The winning national championship in college, I think would be the coolest shit ever if you
Yeah.
haven't won a World Series yet. Yeah, so doing that. Do either of us think we could take Yariel Rodriguez in a staring competition? Because his eyes are
He is a scary lad.
that is not a guy you want to run into at the end of the night.
He is a scary dude, and the veneers I think play a factor in that because he never closes his mouth. Yeah, I think Yariel is a scary, scary man. I think like if I'm a hitter, that guy, you don't know what the fuck that guy's thinking. No idea.
Okay, looking ahead to the schedule, what is one series that you think would be the best to go to this season? I think there's an early one, and it's the Dodgers at home, would be my answer.
I'm excited for the Yankees to come to the Rogers Center again.
Ugh, I think we said this. I said this last year. I hate watching the Yankees play at the Rogers Center
I don't
because
know. I
there's
like
actually
it.
a decent amount of Yankees fans that
Well,
show
yeah,
up.
you got Joey from Toronto, who's a Yankee fan for some reason, going to the game with his family. So, yeah, I'm looking. I like the National League games. I love them. I love the National League games. I believe Musgrove is here in September, maybe. I think I'm not
No,
sure.
they came last year.
Okay, so the Jays go there next year. I'm looking forward to seeing NL teams that we haven't seen before.
Any certain one, do you know that are coming that you want to see?
I think the Dodgers are probably one A. Trying to think who else. The Phillies come in September. Sorry, it's the Phillies that come here.
The Phillies always come though. They
Yeah.
always split.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we see any extensions for any players happening this season?
No, that's not really the Jays thing, right? I don't think the
No, I
Jays have
think I think
extended guys.
Jano might get one.
Jano? That's
That's right.
fair.
That's right. I'd hope so.
Yeah. Jano would probably be the only candidate I would think of.
Blue Jays joint rotation. We do that one all the time. We won't do that. Rank our bullpen options of who you'd want pitching in a high leverage situation.
Romano, Swanee. What the fuck is going on here? Romano, Swanee. Mesa, obviously, it's hard to ignore what Mesa did last year and the year before. He was good both times.
Yeah.
Romano, Swanee, Mesa. Who am I missing?
Like Chad Green, Jimmy,
Chad Green. Jimmy's
Trevor
the bottom of the
Richards.
totem pole. Jimmy's the bottom of the totem pole right now after last year. He was so bad last year. So bad. Jimmy was terrible last year, man. That's not even talked about enough because the bullpen was so good. We didn't really need Jimmy, but he was terrible last year.
Agree with that. I mean, it does. Nothing's really changed from last year. When is the Gate 14 community baseball game? I think that is a good content idea, to be honest. Like, even if it's a charity thing, I think if we could do a community baseball game, I think that would be good at some point.
Yeah, I can get behind that. That
You're,
would be so sick.
yeah, probably a slow pitch game. I don't think we'd strap it up and have guys throwing. Um, okay, the opening day Jays lineup, we won't do that one. We'll save that for closer to the season. Yeah,
Season
there's a lot
preview
of.
hopefully next week, maybe before we go to spring. Or do you want to do that in person?
No, we'll do that like right before the season starts.
Okay.
As it stands today, how many wins for this group?
I'm going to say 90 to 95. Something like that.
Give an exact number.
93.
Nice. I like that. 91 for Avery. Any worries of Barrios having a repeat of the 2022 season?
Not based off of what we've been hearing. Like everyone has said how good he looks. He's had one bad year his entire career, 2022. The rest of it, he's been a very serviceable, very good pitcher in baseball. And last year he was incredible. So yeah, I don't think there's gonna be any regression for Brios. If a little maybe, but he's a good, he has nasty stuff, Avery. We were at that game where he struck out 13 Phillies in 2022. Like he was also really good last year. So I think a couple both jock nights he started. He was really good both those starts. So he's probably like close to the bottom of the list, if not maybe the middle, for guys that I think would be regressing on this pitching staff.
Yeah, I'm not too worried because Pete kind of said that last year he sat down and figured out what he wanted to change, and that tangible change made him a really good player last year. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried. I think, yeah, I am not worried. Is Bowden Francis more ready than Ricky Tiedemann? I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
More innings. I mean,
yeah.
Ricky Tiedemann throwing 62 innings last year, including fall ball, is crazy.
Yeah, it is not a lot of innings. What can baseball or Major League Baseball do to grow and get more fans?
That's like they did. Like I said, I don't understand the Rob Manfred hate as well. He made a massive, drastic change that made the games more easy to watch with the pitch clock. Everyone was complaining about, oh, the pitch clock's going to be like what happened to the World Series if someone gets a violation. Hasn't happened. Hasn't happened in crucial moments that were like obviously massive crucial moments. I don't know what else you could do, to be honest. They've marketed their players. The social media is doing a good job. Besides the fact they've just really been posting Dodgers propaganda this entire time, but that's what you kind of do. You cater to the biggest audience you could have, which is the Japanese with Otani and Yamamoto. So, yeah, I don't know what else you could do to the game.
Steroids.
One player on the team is allowed to do steroids on each team.
Yeah.
Or teams have to fight once a year against another team.
When does the new merch come out?
We're working on that. We got the prototypes coming in, I believe, this week or next. We'll be wearing them for spring training, giving them to a couple of players. Hopefully that works out well. Aiming for April, maybe middle April, something like that.
Hopefully opening day we can have the stuff come out.
Yeah.
Best way to get over heartbreak. Focus on yourself, King.
Focus on yourself with the boys, with your friends. Because listen, man.
Pick up a hobby.
Pick up a hobby. Women come and go, brother. Women come and go. If you have a really good support cast, you have a really good friend group, it'll be easier for you to get over it. Obviously, they're not dating you, but they do help you get through it, and obviously not self-isolating yourself. Self-isolating yourself is probably like the worst thing you could do in terms of that. So going out, being social, hanging out with people, seeing your friends, doing stuff on weekends or whatever it is, whenever you have off days, that's probably the biggest thing. And just obviously finding a hobby is a big one as well.
Yeah. Best aura among Blue Jays players. Bo probably for me.
I would probably say, although we chirp him a lot, is Vladdy's aura is sick.
It is, like but he makes some bonehead mistakes sometimes.
Yeah, which kind of deteriorates the aura.
Yeah.
It's hard to ignore Romano's aura. The
It's
guy's just the greasiest human being to ever walk the planet. Looks like he doesn't shower. It's hard to ignore the Romano aura, man.
I like
It's
that.
hard.
That's a pretty good answer, actually.
Yeah.
Who's the 2024 version of Mason McCuck going to be in terms of a random waiver pickup halfway through the season who plays 5 games and vanishes?
I don't even know how you can answer that. I don't even
Yeah, I
like
don't know. Just pick a random player. I'll go
uh
Kevin Newman.
Kevin Newman's one. That's an interesting name. Let's bring Luplo back. Braves
Yeah.
DFA him.
Yeah.
Let's get our guy Loops back in the mix.
Oh, I like
Congrats
that.
on the big league deal with the Braves, by the way, or a minor league deal worth $1.3 million to potentially just play in the minors all year. Yeah, I'll take that 10 times out of 10 Loops.
And since the cock is gone, are we going with the rooster for Turner, or does it have to be genitalia based?
Has to be genitalia based. It comes natural. We like the cock. Yeah, it comes natural. The cock was just a natural. We saw the picture of him in Pittsburgh, the infamous picture of his meat. Yeah, it's gonna be. Well, this year we'll be coming up with nicknames. Obviously, it'll be that's just what we do. But it's hard to plan it. We don't plan these nicknames. It just kind of comes to us. So I don't know who I would say.
And our last one here, got through most of them. There's a bunch of repeat ones, so if I didn't get yours, sorry. When will Ricky Tiedemann start for the Toronto Blue Jays?
Okay, let's set an over under, or before or after. Before or after the All-Star break, Abe?
After September call up, probably. I think the team stays decently healthy.
Yeah, knock on wood. I would probably say yeah. I'd obviously after. I mean, things would have to go terrible for this staff for Ricky Tiedemann to start before the All-Star break.
Yeah, actually, I wonder what they're going to do with his innings if it's front loaded or back loaded. I think they'd probably backload it to have him available if they needed him. So maybe they'll limit them early. I'll go after the All-Star break.
Yeah, after the All-Star break, which that start's gonna rock. I cannot wait for that start.
All right, that's all we got.
All right. Listen. We're almost going to be at spring training, the Gate 14 boys. March 1st to 6th will be there. Tons of content ideas we have in mind. I'm excited for it. We got baseball this week, 5 days away. Or 4, right? Because today's Monday, I keep forgetting. We're 4 days away from Toronto Blue Jays baseball. Saturday, or I think it's Orioles Blue Jays spring training. Whoever wins that's winning the AL East. That's where
I thought they played the Phillies this week.
Oh, fuck, it is the Phillies. Okay. But yeah, looking forward to it. We are here. We're almost at 2 podcast episodes a week, coming awfully close, folks. So buckle in. Let's have ourselves a last week without baseball. Let's enjoy it. And hopefully we come at you with another podcast later this week because something crucial happens to this Toronto Blue Jays team that's worth talking about. But other than that, though, let's get to 5K on YouTube before the next episode. We're 20 away. I think that'll be fairly easy to hit. But love you guys, man. We're all the road to 5K, then the road to 10K.
And there's a little prospect video for you prospect huggers out there on the YouTube if you want that.
There you go. All right, love you guys. Gate 14 forever. Let's have ourselves a short week here, and let's get right into fucking baseball, folks.